Alright. Hey everyone, welcome to another Throwback Thursday. Today I'm going to talk about Lords of the Left-Hand Path, History of Spiritual Descent by Stephen E. Flowers, PhD. So this is the early first edition one. This was out of print for a long time. Now it's back in print. It's a little bit easier to handle. It's not this weird, they call it the textbook college format. It's typically what they call these. But it's pretty interesting. He even goes into some of the political spectrum, such as the National Socialist or Nazis being involved in it. It goes into Eastern tradition, such as Tantra, Hinduism, various elements. How the Egyptians followed the god Set, which according to the Temple of Set, Set is actually one of the oldest forms of Satan. So, of course, I would argue Lucifer, not Satan, but talks about the assassins and the old man of the mountain. So the the assassins or the assassins, which were a type of, they were involved in Islam, but they were an Islamic left-hand path sect. And then, of course, the Yazidis, Christian heresy, was Jesus a Lord of the left-hand path? So some of his things is pretty interesting here. And this is actually pretty cool. He's got this here. So the one, the good being, so this is the world that we're in, matter. When he's talking about the Gnostics here, he's got this pretty good. So when we are becoming, we are something like the emerge, creating, and then we enter being once we get out of this world, basically. But he points out that Christ could very well be a follower of the left-hand path, because he talked about himself mostly, and he kind of perceived himself as a god. So the difference between the left-hand path and the right-hand path is, there's my cat, Cosmo. The difference between the two is the right-hand path seeks to elevate you to the cosmos and become one with the Creator, God. If that's who you believe is the actual deity, essentially. The left-hand path is you want to be in control of the cosmos. You don't want to sit next to God. You actually want to be God. Is basically what it is. So this doesn't necessarily make you evil. It's just that a lot of people that follow the right-hand path believe that this is an evil path. Because they would much rather slavishly bow down to a higher power rather than question and self-deify themselves. So So he starts off with early pagan forms, pre-Christian forms of the left-hand path, and then he goes throughout the Middle Ages with some Christian heretics. Then he gets into the more romantic era, outside of, so here he's got like the Western Middle Ages, 500 to 1500. And the notes, by the way, that he has here are just astounding. I mean, everything that he did was just amazing. So, Chapter 6, Lucifer Unbound, the Modern Age and New Understandings. So, 1433 to 1900. So, Adolf Hitler and the modern mythologizing of evil. The Wolf Unbound, yep. So, it talks about the cosmology of the National Socialism. It's about the holidays that people observed during that period. I believe he goes into Karl Marx also, and kind of the communist side of it. So, modern witchcraft and the left-hand path. So he goes into the Wicca movement. Now, the Wicca religion is technically a right-hand path religion, but it does have some offshoots that are more left-hand path. Wicca started in the 1950s in England. One man basically founded a religion based on witchcraft, and his name was Gerald Gardner, and he was actually at one point a disciple of Aleister Crowley. And he basically used witchcraft, I think, as a hedonistic excuse, really, to find pleasure. He was kind of a sexual pervert, is what I would call him. He engaged in a lot of sex magic and rituals, and but over the years, Wicca has, especially the American version of it, has been light, fluffy bunny type of stuff, and it's turned into a major right-hand path religion. But the reality is, Wicca really didn't start off like that. The English variants are definitely a little bit darker. And there is such a thing as dark Wicca, too. There's people that tend to be more interested in the darker gods of paganism. Depending on what pantheon they're working with. Some people might work with the Greek pantheon or the Norse pantheon. So the Greek pantheon, the dark gods, one of them would be Hades, another one would be Ares, so on and so forth. Then he goes into Anton LaVey, the 60s. And then we have Michael Aquino and the Temple of Set. Chapter 10 here. So I believe that Stephen Flowers is actually a member of the Temple of Set. He does a pretty good job here talking about the revival of Set worship. Basically, earlier in the book, he talks about Set also. But he just goes into the whole teachings of the Temple of Set. What does it take to be a Setian? The theology behind it. It's also known as the Typhonian path. Largely because Set is associated with the Greek monster Typhon a lot of times. Not really sure how that happened, but I don't think it's very fitting. But for some reason, through syncretism, the Greeks kind of latched on to Set as Typhon. So, and that's actually where we get the modern term for a typhoon storm. So, yes. It's a very good book. It's definitely a good history. It's not going to teach you how to be an effective magician or anything. It's just a good history about the left-hand path and what is the left-hand path. So, yeah, it's a pretty good, very detailed book. Let me see when it first was printed. 1997. Yeah, so he ends it with the Temple Set. Since 1997, there's been quite a few groups, actually, that have sprung up. But, yes. I would also like to talk about my new channel. So, I think, and I don't want this to sound, turn into a conspiracy theory or anything, but I was reading that people can actually get your channel shadow banned on YouTube. So, I took down my sport channel because I could not post any more videos on it. I was unable to post any more videos on it. And so I kind of wonder if Dan Bell might have gotten it shadow banned. Again, I don't want it to sound like I'm giving credit to, or starting some type of weird conspiracy theory. But the fact of the matter is I did do some research on it, and I did discover that, yes, somebody can definitely get your channel shadow banned and make it impossible for you to continue to post videos on it. So I took that down. I created a new channel. If you haven't seen the short video yet, it's called 666 Beating Station. And for those of you who may or may not be interested, 666 Beating Station or 666 Beating Station, actually, there's a funny story behind that. I used to work in a grocery store a long time ago, and there was this Christian guy that walked into the store, and he was one of those doomsday conspiracy theory type of people. You know, the world's going to end any day now, and kind of thing. So, anyway, he said that in the future, when the world has basically gone through the apocalypse and all that, the people who are left behind after the rapture, they're going to be controlled by these Satanists, and the Satanists are going to run these clubs called 666 beating stations, basically. And I just laughed because I just thought, man, what a great name for like a industrial band or something. It was just hilarious. So anyway, that's where I got that from. And anyway, yes. So I did recently post. I posted the. I reposted the Trapped and Terrified thing. And I posted a music video that I did of a band that I really liked called The Devil's Blood. And basically the reason why this channel is existing is I'm going to turn it into kind of a avant-garde type of art video channel. There's quite a few movies that I did in film school, and there's a few that I would like to re-edit and stick on there, but I really don't think they would be good on the main channel. I certainly don't want YouTube to really freak out on my main channel. So if they do get flagged, at least they're on the other channel, you know. So I can kind of keep my main one safe from any heat that might come from it. So, anyway, I may or may not start posting these on that channel. You know, for now, I'm just going to keep putting Throwback Thursday on the regular channel. But I might change it in the future. So, anyway, hit like and subscribe, and peace out, everybody.